police cannot, all the other security agencies, they cannot, because they cannot know the terrain. It is not possible.
It was one thing I believe. That was why I said I'm happy that we have this will coming from the Ogun State Police Command now to do the needful. I don't believe the narrative of poor surveillance, the terrorists exploiting poor surveillance. And why do I say this? The local committees have their own way of surveillance, and they do hint the security agencies when they see some of these things. But then the politicians, they choose to look the other way, and since they are the ones that come to security are parts of this country, of course they also would look the other way. Well, when they are hinted of these things until the terrible happens, until the terrible event eventually occurs. So that's when you start seeing, oh, we are on top of the situation, we are going after them and all that. But then as for the forest reserves, we cannot destroy the forest, we cannot do away with the forest, we cannot say the forest will stop existing. Like I always on these platforms, forests are supposed to be money-making ventures,
yes,
for the
tourists.
Tourism. When we about tourism, like I said, we do. Like I always say, we do watch on cable TV a particular channel called Nat Geo World, where we see different African. Many of these the places where these white people come and do their research, and then they come and splash their documentaries for us to watch. Very interesting documentaries. The life pattern of lions, elephants, and all manner of animals. Most of these reserves are in Africa. So they come to Africa to do most of these things. And why are they able to do it? Because those ones are able to keep their forests safe. So if those reserves, Kruger National Park, you have the national parks in Kenya, even troubled places like Uganda,
yes.
You have those national parks there. So if they are saying that our national places like Kenya, if they are also saying that our national parks are too vast to be policed, and then they leave their wildlife reserves to bandits and criminals like we have done here, so those white people will not be able to come there. And we don't have the opportunity of watching those beautiful documentaries that we watch.
And yes, like you said, animals do, yes, they do they do abide there, and because I remember there was one election, I think it was a census period. We were traveling through Kishi, Igbeti, Igbo, Kishi, yes, we were traveling, and also about two monkeys, they just jumped from one bush to the other in front of our car, and we now stopped. They looked at us, and I said, Obomari.
Yeah, you are in their territory now.
Yes.
You are the intruders.
Intruders, yes. So
you intruded into their territory.
Yes, they left. So the driver now said, if we dare hit one of them, and say that we will go back and pick.
They will gather stones. They will attack.
That means there are so many species and so many types of animals inside that park.
I know those Oyibos, when they come, they don't do that research for free. They pay the government of those countries to have access to their forest and to do research. They won't provide them with guides. So why is it that assuming that the bandits and terrorists are not going to those countries that we mentioned, so how come it is our own country, it is our own forest that they find attractive? How come they jump over all those countries and then come? So something is definitely wrong somewhere. How come it is our own forest reserve that is always too vast and too difficult to be policed?
Now look at the Yankari Games Reserve. I don't know whether it is still existing or not.
Yeah, of course it's existing, but it has been taken over by bandits.
Bandits, yes.
And this same criminals. It's the same. All forest reserves all over the country.
Now, findings. Findings show that the old Oyo National Park in Oyo State covers about 2,512 square kilometers, or 251,200 hectares, and the park is about 160 kilometers from Ilorin, the Kwara State capital.
And we've been in this country for years, as far back as I can remember, and we didn't have this problem.
Yes,
Even if we had it, it was very minimal. Not until the politicians came. That's when we started having this kind of problem. Because, like I said, I'm not saying that those who ruled us before the politicians came were also not corrupt and greedy, but the brand of greed of the politicians is very, very peculiar. That it confounds me. Sometimes I cannot understand it. I keep asking that question when I look at them. I ask myself, how much is enough? How much is enough that you have to take human? I'm sure the animals in those reserves, those monkeys you mentioned, sometimes they would watch humans.
Yes.
They'll watch the bandits, they would watch them doing what they do, and they'll be wondering that how can these people be so cruel, and yet they are the ones that are favored most by the Creator, the Most High, the Master of all. So just me talking, being philosophical here. Okay. Coming to your state now, Bimbo.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It says, well, in new video, abducted Oyo principal begs government to negotiate with kidnappers.
And that the government should not use force. And,
well, of course, I can understand that position.
Yes, sir. I told you earlier in this program, I mean, the course of this program during the week, that principal, yes, is the wife of a prof in the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. Yes, Professor Alam. And well, I don't know how he will be feeling now, right now. It is exactly 2 weeks since those kids were abducted, and these teachers and the students. And
she that video is a 44-second video, and then she reveals some very worrisome details. It is a new video surfaced online on Friday showing the abducted principal of Community High School Esiele Ahuru Esiele in Orire local government area of Oyo State, Mrs. Rachel Alamu, pleading with the federal government and the Oyo State government to negotiate with the kidnappers holding her and other victims captive. Now, spokesman of the State Police Command, CSP Anyola Deolayinka, confirmed that the police had obtained the video. He declined to speak further on the situation. Now, in the emotional 44-second video clip, Mrs. Alamu warned that the use of force by security operatives had worsened their situation in captivity, alleging that the kidnappers had picked one of the victims for execution following a recent rescue attempt. So there was another rescue attempt, and the kidnappers are not happy about that. The woman said another person had been primed for execution. Now, the principal, who appeared visibly distressed in the video, was seen wearing the same outfit from an earlier clip released by the abductors.
Yes.
The barrel of a gun was also seen pointed at her while she spoke from where she was being held. She said, and I quote, "Please, I'm here again to beg the government, President Tinubu and Governor Seyi Makinde, to help us and dialogue with these people. They should not use force. The force they used yesterday has caused more problems for us. In fact, one of us has been picked, and they said they are going to kill him because government tried to rescue us by force. We want you to call them and dialogue with them so our lives can be saved." Ms. Salama and 31 others, including pupils and school staff, were abducted on Friday, May 16, 2026, when armed men attacked the Community High School Ahuru Esiele, Baptist Nursery and Primary School Yawata, and Early Primary School Esiele, all in the Orire local government.
Like I always say, that I don't know what kind of trauma those kids and the students and the principals will be, going through now. Like in the video now that was seen, she was in I think a native outfit. She was said to be repeatedly driving flies, big flies, away as she spoke. So now imagine other insects inside that bush.
And those little ones.
Yes.
Mosquitoes and all that. No. From what she has said here, obviously there was a rescue attempt yesterday. So that's to tell you that the government is not just folding its arms, security agents are not just folding their arms, but then for whatever reason, maybe the rescue attempt failed, and hence that video that surfaced with the woman said that they are threatening to kill another hostage.
And I think that woman was forced to speak for the recording.
Of course.
Yes, he was forced.
We should speak willingly. Of course,
yes.
But then, I do not know. But then, this might be taking too long.
Yes.
So to avoid the loss of more lives, it's either two things, Bimbo. Either if it's going to be storming the hideouts and attempting a rescue attempt, and then trying to make sure that collateral damage is as minimal as possible. Quickly, so that Canada life, we must not allow this to happen. They must not take any more. So, well, I guess, like I will say, we are not there. We know the security agencies are doing their best. The government is doing its best to manage this situation and make sure it doesn't escalate further into any unpleasant eventualities. But then, I think speed is also very expedient here. So,
well, I have this one here. Court orders remand of blogger accused of defaming Oluyole. Well, that is for this Oluyole guy is you remember Tony Oluyole, the UBA chairman, that was the alleged cyber stalking and defamation of the chairman of the United Bank for Africa, and the 19-year-old blogger.
He's just 19.
19-year-old, yes. Supluchi was yesterday arraigned before the Federal High Court in Lagos by the police over the cyber stalking and defamation of the chairman.
He wanted to trend, but he picked on the wrong person, and probably didn't know there would be consequences.
And Ebonyi communal conflict killings, 2 monarchs, 31 others arraigned. And Tunde Ayeni not robbed of 120 million naira wristwatch in Kuje prison. That is according to the correctional center.
But then, even if the story were true, inmates allowed to keep such expensive property when they are in
the correctional center.
But I'm politics now, and the storm in the PDP's teacup seems to be far from over. So dissociate yourself from presidential convention. Wike-backed PDP urges Jonathan. And there's a rider, FCT minister warns event centers, hotels against hosting unrecognized parties, and will resist every attempt to intimidate us. To Rakiled PDP replies. But I'm of the opinion that they should let both factions do their thing, and the electoral body or the courts will decide which one is recognized at the end of the day. But trying to say that a particular faction should not do their thing, I think that is where you are trying to stir the hornet's nest. On the National Working Committee NWC of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, led by Honorable Abdurrahman Mohammed, has urged former President Goodluck Jonathan to publicly distance himself from ongoing efforts to link his name to a 2027 presidential bid. The party said it was time for Jonathan to dissociate himself from what it described as a charade in order to protect the integrity of the democratic process and preserve the credibility he earned while serving the nation. The call came on Friday as the Interim National Working Committee (NWC) of the PDP, led by Dr. Tanimu Turaki, prepared to hold a special convention today to ratify Jonathan as his 2027 presidential candidate. Both the Mohammed-led NWC and the Turaki-led NINWC had earlier conducted separate primaries for elective positions ahead of the 2027 elections, producing candidates across 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). So on Wednesday, former Senator Sandy Ojang Ono emerged as the PDP presidential candidate through what was described as a consensus affirmation after the Mohammed-led NWC concluded its primary for governorship, State House of Assembly and National Assembly positions. However, the Turaki-led INWC, which also conducted private party congresses, fixed today, Saturday, to ratify Jonathan as his own presidential candidates.
This is going to be interesting.
But I still see the Wiki backed faction of the PDP being behind all this, and then the purpose is to finally drive the last nail into the coffin of the PDP.
The last long nail.
Because I don't know Senator Sandy Ojang Ono as a presidential candidate. I don't know how well he would fare. Well, relatively unknown. Correct me if I'm wrong, then, but then how well he would fare in the electoral contest. So I think for me, if I'm to analyze this, the plot is to see that either whether or not the PDP is finally emerges on the ballot for the presidential contest in 2027, whether or not they finally have their logo there. The idea is to make sure that either ways that they do not get any rating at the polls, that they do not have any chances at the polls. It's either they are not on the ballot, or if they are on the ballot, maybe the one that is relatively unknown will be the one, that faction with the one relatively unknown candidates will be the faction that will be on the ballot. And so, of course, primed to fail right from the start.
Well, in the meantime, the African Democratic Congress and the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party for the 2027 general elections, Oluyole Adebayo, have criticized President Bola Tinubu's administration, accusing it of deepening economic hardship, insecurity, and public dissatisfaction across the country. The ADC, in a statement on Friday by its National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, said Nigerians had lost confidence in Tinubu's administration. And according to the party, a nationwide survey by Eagle Badger Data Analytics confirmed that most Nigerians have lost confidence in the administration ahead of the 2027 general elections. And Saudi Punch couldn't independently verify the report of the reported survey, and the party said Tinubu's reported 30% approval rating after 3 years in office amounted to a mark of total failure. That organization that did the survey,
Eagle Badger Data Analytics.
Yes, don't you think it is partisan?
Well, whether partisan or not, yes, I might want to agree with you that maybe that's the work of some people, the president's opponents, putting them up to it. But sadly, very sadly, I think they are right.
They are right.
My opinion here.
Yes.
Even if they were biased and partisan and not very sincere in their ratings, but from what is happening, what I am seeing, Bimbo, looks like unfortunately and very sadly, they might just be right. And the ADC is also saying to President Tinubu, your 30% approval rating reflects total failure. But it's very convenient for the opposition to leverage on that and to latch on that to further try to mudsling the president's Babadiga.
Yes, and the organization also claimed that food prices have risen sharply. It has been rising all along since 2023, while transportation costs, unemployment, and business closures continue to strain households. Nigerians do not eat statistics, they eat food. They pay rent, school fees, and transport fares.
That's why they always talk.
Yes, and on all these measures, life has become significantly harder, the statements added.
And when they come up with those statistics, they expect us to start clapping. They expect us to be happy that things are getting better. When there is no food on the table, when the health sector is in a shambles, when people are unable to pay their rent, when people are unable to send their children to pay their school fees. And 2027. Well, they shout out to the women here. NRM, National Rescue Movement, picks female consensus presidential candidate, vows to unseat APC. A tall dream. But Bimbo, that is very possible. If every woman that is eligible to vote in Nigeria would vote for their own gender, maybe on the basis of gender, and they vote for this woman, or let me say 70% of eligible female voters vote for her, she will win the election fair and square. It will be a clean sweep. But trust the women, they will not vote for their own. Even if they think she is the best thing to happen to this country, even if they think that they have reason to believe that she will be the one that will actually rescue this country, as none of the party goes, National Rescue Movement. I trust Amobini. They are their own problem. They will not vote for it. Remember, was it Jubril now?
Jubril, yes.
The one that took women to the PDP convention in Abuja, and then the women that went there, majority of her delegates were women, and at the end of the day, she had only one vote, her own vote. Even though she took to Abuja, did not vote for her. And I said that that convention, I told my cameraman Kolakoki, we were there together, and I told him that look, if I were this woman, I would abandon them, leave them stranded in Abuja. I will not pay for their transport back home. They should find their way back. Now, the National Rescue Movement, NRM, on Friday formally presented Dr. Esther Inkem Okereke as his consensus presidential candidate for the 2027 general election, declaring its readiness to challenge and defeat both ruling All Progressive Congress and the Nigeria Democratic Congress, NDC. What about the ADC and the other opposition parties? Now, at the party's presidential primary held in Abuja, the NRM leadership described the emergence of Okereke as a reflection of his commitment to gender inclusion, youth empowerment, and a national rescue mission aimed at rebuilding Nigeria. Addressing delegates at the convention, the national chairman of the party, Prince Chinedu Obi, said Nigeria was in dire need of visionary leadership capable of reversing insecurity, poverty, unemployment, and institutional collapse. I guess Iya Monsura might want to tell me this morning whether I'm right or wrong regarding women not wanting to support themselves. But I like the fact that this particular woman is picking up the gauntlets and she's throwing her heart in the ring, even though it might look like an ant putting on boxing gloves and jumping into the ring with elephants. But then I think it's a good try, Bimbo. And then you never know what can happen. It is Nigerians that will decide.
Yes.
It's not Tola Teriba and the Bimbo Kombi that will be predicting where the pendulum will swing. You never can tell. The wind might just decide. And if the wind will decide that it is time for us to have a female president. Then the other political parties, I dare say, they are in trouble. But let's hear Monsura tell us if that is going to happen or not.
Yes, I hope Monsura is just listening to this program.
Of course he's listening.
Yes, now talking about this statistics thing that we talk about, saying a group that said that Nigeria is not okay, and the government will now come up with another statement that will just give you a headache. Now, fuel subsidy removal saved Nigeria from bankruptcy, says Tinubu, and it further says economy recovering, agriculture booming after painful reforms.
Ben, with the bandits and the terrorists taking over our farms, so agriculture is improving.
So I don't know, like this kind of statements, it is what always annoys us, let me say, always annoys people. How can you say fuel subsidy removal has saved Nigeria from bankruptcy? Economy is recovering. Agriculture is booming. You understand? Well.
Oshu APM affirms Governor Seyi Makinde as 27 presidential candidates as Oyo Governor says allies move to APM over PDP crisis. Well, the presidential primary of the APM will be holding today, and then Governor Seyi Makinde, well, very likely to emerge as the consensus presidential candidate, but we wait for the primaries to hold. It's holding here in Ibadan at the Theophilus Ogunlesi Hall opposite the UCH. That's the venue of the presidential primary. And so the Allied People's Movement APM, we are in Osun State, has affirmed Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde as his sole presidential candidate for the 2027 general election, following the conclusion of primaries across the 332 wards in the state. The party leadership said the affirmation was reached during a political ceremony attended by party leaders, officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, security agencies, and members of the press. The chairman of the party's primary election committee, Adewale Adebayo, announced the decision on Thursday in Osogbo. Meanwhile, Governor Seyi Makinde has said the decision to move candidates preparing for the 2027 general elections from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the APM was informed by the lingering internal crisis and unresolved court cases within the PDP. Now, Makinde made the disclosure in Ibadan during the unveiling of Bimbo Adekombi as the Oyo State APM governorship candidate following the party's primary election. Addressing party supporters and political stakeholders, the governor said the move was a strategic step aimed at protecting the chances of candidates aligned with his political structure ahead of the next general election. Well, that looks like a smart move to me.
Well, yes, before we go to the phone lines, POS operators to suspend services. Well, the reasons. Well, they claim that if the government failed to immediately intervene in the alleged exclusivity practice by Valve International and Interswitch Limited, I think the association is the operations is being affected by what they claim that should be suspended. And they said they will suspend and cripple banking operations too in the country. That is, if the Central Bank of Nigeria and the FCCP fail to immediately intervene in the alleged exclusivity practice by the companies maybe operating with them.
Quickly, before we open the phone lines, the book of matrimonial oddities this morning. My wife charges me money per round of sex. Man tells court. The man is 39 from Barriers to the Matero local court in Zambia. And they threw the court gallery into laughter after I revealed that he married a Lusaka seller who charged him 50 I don't know how to pronounce this their currency, but he says charges him money per round during their matrimonial games. He told the court that the behavior of his wife, Stella Tembo, a 25-year-old Easterner, was undiplomatic due to her unacceptable demands and conditions every time he wanted to be intimate with her. Maybe he's also very frugal. Maybe he's also not very generous. That's why the wife uses sex as a weapon to get what she wants from him.
Yes. It is possible. It is quite possible.
And the woman is also accusing the husband of using charms on her, which left her like the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible, who was isolated from the society for 12 years. He says he got a piece from a green Chintenge, that's a particular address in their area, in their side, and they took it to a witch doctor, and they've never stopped bleeding since then. Okay. And Stella saw that she had been a good wife to him, and that he was free to express his desires on her in whatever style he wanted. Oh, interesting. She says she only started charging him after he married another woman elsewhere and rented a house for her. So she also wanted some of that money that he's spending outside. And this one, my husband smokes Indian hemp, squeezes my breast when beating me. And the man says he's free to go. This one happened in Nasarawa State. And I wonder, maybe the size of those breasts are intimidating to the man. That's why he finds it expedient to squeeze them.
So that they will be. So what will happen to those breasts?
I do not know. I do not know the reason for him squeezing. She said she called the man a brute, and he smokes cigarette and Indian hemp. He says Henry beats me at the slightest provocation and squeezes my breast.
But doesn't she know that he was smoking Indian hemp before
marrying him? And then my third wife attempted to stab me, threatening to kill herself because I married a fourth wife. As Yorubas would say. So much for the book of matrimonial oddities. Let's open the phone lines. 070-5555-1985. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you.
Yes, I want to say happy weekend to you.
Yes, same to you.
The same.
Yes, the issue of this agricultural improving or whatever, because subsidy was removed. I want to ask, I don't even know that will be mentioned to the that. What is the essence of this subsidy removal? Because the one that Mr. President said subsidy is gone, the problem of this country even started compounding. Because this subsidy, I don't know the essence, so I don't know the essence, I don't know the doing, I don't people know. Since then, everything has been even skyrocketed. That about that. Then the issue of the man gave for 5 years for this kidnapper gave for 5 years. The someone that's supposed to be rotting in place, the just gave him 5 years. For what? If they cannot be sentenced to death, death will be there for life. How come 5 years? My brother, I get a weekend, have a nice weekend.
Thank you very much.
Well, regarding that, I think it depends on what the law says, and maybe they might have to be tinkering with the constitution and the legal system.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning, this morning.
Good morning.
I'm come from Oluyole.
Good to have you alive.
Women gender. You now have your presidential candidate too. So don't come back after 2027 and say you are marginalized. Yeah, Masura. You go to vote for your gender. Mobilize your gender to vote for your gender. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
070-5555-1985. Okay, what was another caller?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chola, Mr. Shan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ogoluwa.
Good to have you.
Ogoluwa from Lagos speaking.
Good to have you.
According to what our Baba just said now, I don't even know what to say. Because presently now I am not happy. You tell me the reason. Because of the video of that principal, Mr. Chola, what is happening now? Look at the condition of all those people in the bush.
It is well.
I don't say that government are not doing their best, but please, they should do something fast. When I saw that video yesterday, I couldn't hold my tears. The same thing this morning. This thing can even cause a lot of damage to our body as a human being. Because as for me, I can't even hold my tears. I'm a human being. Please, government to do something. Because it gets out of hand.
Thank you. Well, we understand and appreciate your concerns this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Ilabuku calling from London.
I'm sorry, Dr. Ilabuku.
I think since we are in a precarious situation as far as kidnapping know that some man they go into a program to someone they say that he has every spiritual thing to make sure that the children will return if are not a government. I think this is beyond getting being allowed. You should go there and do something. Then we have the Sunday bro with his welcome people. Time is gone. You should fast track. Let them take participated. When they know balance, there are some people who will be training the house spiritual power. So let them go there and do the everything. And let me tell the governor, you should talk, not only talk, you should take action with these people. You know that the military cannot do it or any other person. But what they are concerned is that the life of the students and the teachers are so paramount, and we cannot make them that they should live their life. What I'm saying is that every people out there, they should go and do it. So let somebody come out and say you can do it. And I heard that in the days they do it in one time. That all these people spirit. If you can use spiritual things to at least get the student back, so that you discuss the limit. Thank you, Dr. from Malaka.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ilabogu. But the Oyo HOS, Health for Transformative Reforms in Civil Service, talking about the HOS that has bowed out of service, Mrs. Olubumi, and yesterday she formally bowed out of service, and we have a new head of service that has been named by appointment approved by Governor Seyi Makinde, Mrs. Adenike A. Fashino. She has been named the new head of the Oyo State Civil Service.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Akabi Adebayo from you.
Good to have you, Mr. Akabi Adebayo.
Thank you, sir. The Bible say you can't do anything against the truth, but for the truth. Truth is always there. You may hate it, you may remove it, you may even try to stop it, but there it is always there, standing, glaring us in the faces. We discussed this yesterday about the security and the Fulani people. Now you can see the ransom bags with which the ransom payment is being delivered was found in the house of Serikin Fulani, Ojogati, Obali Opetemejejitio. You can now see that's what we are saying. Not in our Yoruba land, not in Hausa, whatever. God will bless you. And for the security, let God know Seyi Makinde and President Tinubu do something about these people now. It's becoming too dragged. It's becoming too flogged. They will expect us to be weeping after the demise of you. God forbid bad things. I pray nothing will happen to them. But you know, human beings, in the life of human beings is more valuable than money now. They should do something about it. God bless you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Still talking about appointments, the BCOS as a new general manager. Governor Seyi Makinde approved the appointment of Mrs. Taiwo Adebowale as the general manager of the BCOS.
Yes.
Congratulations to Madam.
Yes. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Now, it's not that the government, the federal government are not trying to bring graduate children. I know as much as don't like the activities of Nigerian government. It's not that they are not trying to bring graduate children. It's still at this stage. These terrorists will be trying to maneuver the government. You know they are in a situation right now that they don't want to be caught. So they will be looking for ways to divert the government attention so that some of them will escape before receiving the money. That is what the terrorists always do. They will be trying to frustrate the negotiation, then divert the attention of the government. You know, they will be thinking maybe the government will mark the money or they send the money through transfer and other things. No, some of them receive money through dollars. We hear this every day about what. If you listen to all, if you are constant listening to all these kidnappers, we hear so many stories. But these people will be trying to maneuver the government, trying to hide, and one thing is, they will be looking for a channel that will not be traced. And the government too, no government will not keep quiet in this. This one, they did in a young way, have already stopped their neck. So they will be trying to, that's how they will be frustrating the move of the government. So they will be keeping the government, so it is same as if the government is not doing anything. That is how they always operate. So I know maybe very soon the government will do something and bring out the children. We just bring the children will not die because they bring them out. So that's it. So I'm thinking what the said about some people who are saying they want to come. Most of these people are just some staff looking for pay, and they want to be known and all that. Most of them, they are not freedom fighters, they are anything. People don't know this people. Just look, if they have top power, which authority are you waiting for? Go to the bush and pay them out now, and let us know you. But what is it? So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Also, no, 55551985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Mia Monsura.
Oníjó ojú wa ń bèrè àánú rẹ̀ bàbá. Oníjó ojú wa ń bèrè àánú rẹ̀ bàbá. The reason I say that is that because of the student that kidnapped at my Ogbomoso local government. I want federal government and state government to intervene quickly because they are not happy, like Oluyole said. It's too late. And going to without their mom and support almost for Kusorowa. They should go and rescue people because I said that we are too tired to let the universe.
Thank you, Mia Monsura.
Thank you very much.
070 55551985. Okay, check your time is 7:30 and we have to go. Been interested in conversation. I'll be back same time Monday morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy your weekend.